Did you hear what I just said? How are you going to make any progress if you never ever get started? So my advice to those of you who are grant writing beginners and you're on the fence and you're like, you're afraid to even get into the game, you gotta take the plunge, get in the game, and start where you're at. Okay, now that's gonna mean different things for different people. Some of you are already connected with the nonprofit organization and you're just wanting to do it. Maybe you saw somebody that got funded in your organization like I did when I was first starting out. And others of you are starting at complete ground zero. Nobody's in your space at all, and you don't have anybody to turn to. Well, good news, we found each other. You found me on YouTube or wherever you found me, and you can start here. So what do you mean, Rodney? I mean, you can start right now today working on a grant proposal, cover sheet. You can work on doing and learning one part of it because there are a few different parts and there's some other videos on my channel. So if you go right now to getfundedwithrodney.com, that's going to take you to my channel. And on there, I have a training called How to Write a Grant in Half the Time. Okay? How to write your first grant in half the time. It's going to give you all the meat of what goes inside of a proposal. Start there. and, and think of the project that you want to write a grant for and just get started. Okay? Hey, James, glad to see you again. I know you're in a pandemic, and guess what? Yes, I am wearing my suit because guess what? I'm not afraid to get started. And guess what? The pandemic is not going to be going on forever. The pandemic's going to be long gone. And just because it's a pandemic don't mean that I got to go around jumping and dressing like Jethro. Now, here's the thing. I want you to just get started because at the end of the day, if you don't get started, you don't make progress. But if you get started, you can make some progress. And too many people let coulda, woulda, shoulda hold them back from taking the plunge. And I want to light a fire under you today to say, if you're going to do something, do it. Don't. I can't tell you how many people get talked. They be like, oh, I'm gonna write a grant one day. Okay. I'm gonna write, okay. This is this. And what I'm saying today is shut that, get the pen, get the paper, go watch that video. And I got some other trainings and different pieces of content on the channel that you can learn from. And guess what? That doesn't even cost you a penny. So listen, money is not even an excuse. Now, if you want some more in-depth training, of course, you can go and check out some of the trainings that I have over at the getfundedinnercircle.com, and we can help you even more. Because my role is twofold. One, to give you the information that you need to write the grant, but also to serve as a source of inspiration to help this part, because oftentimes it's what's going on here, that's the part that's keeping you from writing the grant, not the technical know-how. So if you need additional motivation, encouragement, strength in that area, definitely go check out the GFIC because that part can help you in that regard. And what I want to do is I want to see you grow and progress. Now, when I say get started right where you're at, I mean get started today, not tomorrow, today. And today may be, okay, great, watch the first video and then do something in writing right there, right now, okay? And here's the thing, I look at my journey. I would not be where I'm at right now if, if I just waited. I am where I'm at right now in terms of grant writing because one day I made a decision. I said, you know what, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna learn this. And I never forget the lady I wanted to ask to teach me, she was like, get away from me, I'm not gonna teach you this grant writing thing. You were trying to take my job. And I wasn't trying to take a job, I was just trying to learn a skill. But she sure did give me that. It's almost like it was like karate or something. And she didn't teach me. And I could have let that stop me, but I didn't let that stop me. I said, you know what, I'm gonna learn this. And so I was gonna write. Anybody know how to teach grant writing? Do you know how to write? Can you teach me how to do grant? Nobody. Nope, zero. And that's when I eventually just took the plunge. I took the plunge and didn't know what I was doing. I found a little bit of information here, a little bit of information there, and started piecing together a little bit of it. and then submitted that first proposal. And if you heard my story on the road to getting funded, if you haven't, go check that out. It's a series of videos that I've done, just kind of laying out my whole story of what the ups and downs. But I tell that story of that first proposal. Bam, falling flat on my face. Yeah, that's why this face is all flat, you know? And so that's what happened, you know? And it was a really, really interesting journey. And I'm glad to have my good friend James there. We go back a long way. James and I go back to the point where I had a hairline. He remember when I had but anyway, I started, you know, and I kept at it. And so here's the thing. If you don't get started, you don't make the progress. And I decided to get started, and I failed the first time. I failed, did not get funded. It was not fun not getting funded, but I had to start, okay? Now, I could have given up there. I could have said, you know what, this ain't for me. Rodney, what were you thinking? You was gonna write a grant. I could have stayed there. But you and I would not be interacting right now if I had stayed there. So what happened, a few years later, moved out to California and still didn't know a thing about grant writing. I said, you know what, I still gotta learn this thing. How am I gonna get funded all these programs that I wanna do to help these young people if I don't know a thing about grant writing? So I decided this time that I was gonna do it a little smarter way. I said, you know, I'm gonna go to school and take some classes. And I did a Master's of Business Administration. Now, you don't have to do a Master's of Business Administration in nonprofit management and grant writing to get and learn grant writing. Okay, that was just the role that I took. You can go straight to it and go straight to learning it today. And I put up enough information on the channel to help you right now. So again, there's no excuses. That bill, that loan bill, those loan student loans that took me to learn this skill and bring that knowledge to you, you can get the shortcut and not have to have that student loan and just get straight down to business and interact with the material and start writing grants right away. And let me tell you, this is part that just got me excited. Let me tell you, you would be amazed at what happened when you learn the skill. Now, I want you to do this for me. Go to Wow, They Did It. Go to wowtheydidit.com. If you don't believe what I'm saying, go to wowtheydidit.com and check out the ordinary people just like you and I that didn't know doodly squat. Do you know what doodly squat means? Doodly squat means doodly squat. They didn't know doodly squat about grant writing, and many of them went out and took the information I shared with them and secured hundreds of thousands of dollars, some tens of thousands, others millions, and for real million. So what I'm saying is, these were people like you and I that didn't know a thing about grant writing. What would have happened if they hadn't started? And let me tell you this, I know a young lady, name is Crystal. In fact, you may see on wowtheydidit.com, if you go to that page, you may even see her letter there. I never forget, she was with the YWCA. And her organization had her come to the training, and she said she was nervous at first, getting into this room with all these other people doing grant writing, and she calmed her nerves and eventually learned the skill. Not only did she learn the skill, but she reached back out to me and let me know. This is what she let me know. She let me know. I know, I'm gonna tell you, wait. She let me know, Rodney, guess what? I'm like, what? She said, I'm doing a grant writing business now. I'm like, you doing what? So now she's a grant writing consultant, and she's helping to bring more money to other organizations because she's now learned the skill. But what would have happened if she let that fear keep her from even getting into the ring? What I'm saying to you in essence is this. Okay, I'm saying is, okay, you gotta shake yourself and just freaking get in the game and stop making excuses. So many times we let excuses keep us from doing what we have in our power to do. And what I'm suggesting that you do today is to shake yourself off and say, you know what, I'm about to get in this game. You know, I'm about to write this grant, okay? take some of the free classes, and then if you need more, again, it's not gonna be a big big jump. I have resources and materials that are very cost effective that you can dive into right now. And when I tell you, there's more content that I've laid. You see all the free content that I have waiting for you, where it's there waiting for you. But when I tell you, we go much deeper in the Get Funded in Circle resources. And listen, you will be swimming there for days. The information that's there, we'll put it up against any college training anywhere, okay? Because remember, I don't know if I tell you, when I first started doing this, I was actually, my very first class that I taught outside of the ones that I did locally with workshops, the course was first taught at Regis University. So I taught a class there for 8 weeks, and the remarkable thing is I got invited to teach that class because the person that was over the department, I helped him to secure a $15,000 grant when he was still in graduate school. And he needed to get $15,000 or his internship wouldn't end. Can you imagine that? Organization say, you know what? Your internship doesn't end until you raise $15,000. So he came to me sweating bullets like, Rodney, what do you think I should do? I said, have you thought about writing a grant? And he hadn't, but then he came to a training, learned the information, and before you know it, he run the $15,000. Now later on, he eventually ends up becoming the professor and the head of this department, and then he invites me to teach an online class in grant writing, and I'm like, yeah, I'd be happy to do that. And then the light bulb went off. Hey, you should be doing this on your own. Boom, like yes. And that's how I kind of got into this whole grant writing thing. But what would have happened if I hadn't taken that baby step to say, hey, let me take this class, or let me even write my first proposal? So that's why I'm saying today, write the freaking proposal, get started. Just like you say, Rodney, but what am I gonna write? Okay, let's break this down and make this so easy, okay? Let's make this so easy. What's your program about, okay? Can you spend some time just talking about what it is that you're trying to get funded? What's the one thing? I don't want you giving me like 5 or 6 things. I want this, and no. First thing we gotta do is, what is the one project that you wanna get funded for? Okay, is it for a youth program? Is it for a veterans program? Is it, hey, AJ, thank you, glad that you're here. Yes, it's very much possible to learn, and I hope that you'll go and check that. Wow, they did it, because here's the thing. If they did it, that means that it's possible, first of all, and it also, second of all, means that you can do it, because they are not any better than you. They're not any smarter than you. The bottom line is, they've only done 2 other things that you maybe haven't done yet, and that is they've taken a stand to do what they want to do, and they've started. Thank you very much for those kind words, Lisa. I really appreciate it. They just started. They made a decision. And so it all starts with a decision. And AJ, if you will start right where you're at and say, you know what, I'm just gonna do it, you'll be surprised at what can happen. I'm glad there are videos there, because if you go there, you can hear the people in their own words say what happened to them. Okay, you can hear the young lady say, you know, how she got the $25,000. She secured $25,000 for her organization within like 90 days. Okay, she got the information, and then she went and did something with it, and within 90 days, they secured a $25,000 grant. So what I'm saying is that it's very much possible, and a part of, I believe, while I'm here right now, is just to encourage you of what's possible, to let you know that this thing can happen. You know, that it is very doable. I mean, like, it's very, very doable. I remember when I got the first grant that I got funded. Okay, so the first one was a dud. Okay, woo, that grant proposal stuck. It was, okay, let me tell you, it was a stinking proposal. Let me tell you what happened. The lady at the funder said, hey, if you'd like to come in and talk about the problem areas with this proposal, I'd be happy to meet with you. I was like, okay. So James, if you still there, dude, I went there and met with her, and man, when I tell you that proposal stuck, that was a stinking proposal. I got started though. Okay, so now at least I had something that I could learn from, and something that I could grow from, even though it stunk. Okay, now, so it's not gonna be up for any prizes at all. But the prize was that because of that situation, the lady now gives me an invitation to come and learn. She said, hey, I'll be happy to share with you. So I went and met with her, and she gave me some counsel and told me what not to do next time. And I said, okay, I won't do that next time. Told me some books to read and told me to pace myself, okay? And that's what I did. And so a part of what I'm saying today is that I paced myself and decided, okay, great, I need to do this. And that didn't work out. I could have given up, but I didn't give up. And because I didn't give up, you and I get a chance to talk and interact right now. So here's what I want to ask you. What are you, if you think about it, what are you right now? What are you sleeping on? Okay, now, let me tell you what I mean when I say, what are you sleeping on? And this is really good because there's a book that I listened to, and you may be able to find the audio version of this book free online. The book is called Acres of Diamonds, okay? Acres of Diamond by, I think the guy's last name is Cromwell. His first name is not reaching me right now, but I think the last name is Cromwell. And that book talked about what are the acres of diamonds that are right underneath right near your feet. And the example that he gives is that there was this one guy who went searching way out there, looking all over for acres of diamonds, and he didn't realize that the land that he was on, that he ended up selling to someone else, that there were diamonds there. That's the essence of it. So part of what I'm asking you today is, what are the acres of diamonds that you're sitting upon? Now, if somebody would have told me, Rodney, right where you're at right now, with if they would have, if I could go back and talk to that Rodney that was writing that first grant proposal, if they would have told me that, hey, one day you're gonna be doing what you do now, encouraging other people and helping them to get funded, and that millions of dollars would be raised through some of your efforts and helping other people to learn this knowledge, I would be like, get out of there, stop playing with me. Stop playing with me. Listen, you gotta look for yourself. You gotta go see for yourself at wowtheydidit.com. If you go to wowtheydidit.com, you'll see what I mean. I had no clue that all of that was gonna happen then. No clue, but it happened. So what am I saying? Here's what I'm saying. I gotta get up and walk. I'm getting excited right here. What I'm saying is that you never know right now what's underneath your feet that can help you to take your life, your organization to a whole completely different new level, but it doesn't happen unless you get started. So here's what I'm saying, and I'm getting ready to wrap up, and I'm getting ready to get out of here. What I'm saying is this: just get started. Get started. Get started today. Now, we have a kit called How to Write a Grant Starters Kit. And that's a kit, again, that's absolutely free, that provides some helpful information to get you going, because again, it's a starters kit because I'm trying to get you started. Listen, and listen, I want you to see that this picture is much bigger than me. If you never, ever take a class from me, the bottom line is, I want to see you hit your purpose with whatever it is that you're supposed to be doing, whether that's grant writing, that may be tap dancing. I don't know what it is for you. That may be juggling. I don't know what it is, but whatever it is that you're supposed to be doing, I want you to take advantage of it and to use it, because that gift that you have can help so many people and can make so many other people a lot better, because that's the gift that you're supposed to be distributing to this world. So again, it's not about just my little grant writing class. My class will help you tremendously, but it's bigger than that for me. And so what I'm saying is, get started today. Get rid of the excuses. Do this, all the excuses, and then go after it like you really want it, and you'll be surprised at what will happen. So I'm getting ready to get out of here. With that said, my friend, I want you know what I like to say, I want you to be brave, I want you to be bold, and I want you to be brilliant, and I want you to take charge. When I say take charge, that means, let me tell you what it means. That means you not waiting for the right time for things to be right, the right situation. One of these days I'm gonna do it. No, when I say be brilliant, be brave, be bold, be brilliant, I say take charge. Come on in. Here's what I'm saying. I'm saying you're gonna take charge of the matter and you're gonna go make something happen and not wait for something to happen. That's the ways of winners, all right? So go do it and let me know how things are going because listen, when I tell you I'm cheering for you, I'm cheering for you, all right? I wanna see you win because you can. All the best. Remember, be brave, be bold, be brilliant, take charge, and I'll see you next time. All the best.